The quote is from Theodore Roosevelt, and the quote is, "Do what you can with what you have where you are." And I love this quote because so often as writers, we think about where we want to go or what we want to have finished, and it can be very difficult to stay present. And just last night, I was talking to my son's soccer coach, and he was talking about his desire as a coach is for each of the players on the soccer team to have like an inner fire, an inner responsibility, an inner energy to show up regardless of what team they're on. So for my son's soccer, they have different levels. Like there's, one, two, three, four, and they're kind of ranked in order of best players at the team they're on. And the coach's desire, though, is for the boys to show up with all of who they are, all their skills, to keep developing their skills, whichever team they are, to not worry about, am I on the orange team or the navy team or the white team, and also not to worry about in a game, oh, I'm winning or I'm losing, to not let that affect how they're showing up on the field. And I loved talking to this coach about this. One, because I think it's such a great mindset and a great lesson for life in general. But then as I was thinking about what to share with you, I wanted to share that with you because as writers, there are so many things outside of our control, whether it's the needs of our kids, the needs of our husbands, different situations that come up. There's so much that we cannot control. And the whole reason I named my brand Unstoppable Writers, there are things that we can control, and those are our attitude, our mindset, our energy, our decisions, what we do with our time. There are things we have control over. And so I love this quote by Theodore Roosevelt because I'll read it bit by bit and kind of talk. It says, "Do what you can." And I think that's part of growing up. That's part of living life, is becoming honest and realizing, okay, I have limitations and there are things I can do, there are things I can't do. I can't say yes to everything. Like I get to choose, what am I going to say yes to, what am I going to say no to. So do what you can with what you have. And I love the second part because it kind of takes our eyes off of ourselves and helps us look around. What do we have that we can use? Whether it's a new notebook, a book of prompts, whether it's people who are offering help, people we can ask for help. So look around with what you have and then where you are. So each of us is at a different place in our current project, in our life, in our season, in our families, in our responsibilities. And I love this quote because to me it just gives permission. It gives permission to do what you can. It's enough. You don't have to beat yourself up. You don't have to be full of regret or longing for something different. Just do what you can. It's enough. Even if it's a small, tiny step, those add up. And then with what you have, so kind of taking inventory, what do you have that you can maybe lean on more, get help and support, where you are. I know for me, being a thinker, being someone who has a tendency towards worry, I can live in my head so much of the time and think having my like running to-do list of I only need to do this, I need to go here, and that encouragement where you are can be so grounding. So I wanted to encourage you with that this weekend, is embrace that. Like do what you can with what you have where you are. And this weekend, as we go into the weekend, be thinking about that creative fire that you have and what you can do to protect it and grow it. And a big part of, for me, keeping that creative fire alive and stoked is making sure that I am playing. And playing could be having a prompt book, it could be getting outside, walking in nature, it could be painting. Sometimes playing looks like permission to take a nap. So those are my two encouragements to you this weekend. How will you stoke and cultivate that creative fire within? And how can you play this weekend and just rediscover that joy and that whimsy that maybe you've kind of lost over the course of a busy or hard week?